Hello yet again, it's me, funkdoc, with more Power Grid for you. And this time we got a USA map that's kind of in the middle in terms of building costs. We have three three fairly cheapish regions. Well, two average regions. The cheapest region is the East Coast. These two are kind of average. And then the big expensive one here in the Southwest. Stein pays 5 buckaroos for the plant 3, which is reasonable on this map. This is not a great map to build last on, with the Southwest being involved. That being said, so we have it's me, we got the legend psteinx, real record, who also has a very strong record. No wordplay intended there. And Ryan54, who's a very new player. In fact, last night I played a few two-player games against Ryan to acclimate him to the BSW client. I'll bid 7 for this. If someone wants to pay 8, they can go ahead. I almost feel like I might rather build behind these people. Or at least Ryan. Record doesn't want to pay 8, which kind of... Wow, so I actually get it for 7. Alright, well. Pretty confident that's a better deal than Stein. In fact, I already see the build for me here. I'm guessing Stein's going to go Pittsburgh, I'll go Oklahoma City. That's what I see myself doing here. Chicago's reasonable, too. Chicago might be better, honestly. Since that gets you closer to the cheapest part of the map. Yeah, Chicago might be the build for me. Because if I build Chicago, there's no reason to build in Minneapolis behind me, with purple being out of the game. So I think Chicago's going to be my build. Like either Chicago or Pittsburgh is what I'm looking at. Hmm, 23 showing up already. That's a pretty strong market blocker there at this stage. Have to keep that in mind. It might make playing for turn order a little less valuable, although I still like getting cheap resources. And I mean, I don't see a really amazing 2 build here. I mean, Chicago, Kansas City would be great if you can get it. That might be the build Stein goes for, though. Oh, no, Stein goes for Chicago. Okay. Stein goes for Chicago. That's, again, the more I think about it, yeah, that might be right. My choice now, the way I see it, I have to go for either Pittsburgh or Oklahoma City. I'd be a little scared of Pittsburgh with Ryan building behind me, though. I'll take Pittsburgh, though. I like my cheap early cities. I'm just hoping Ryan doesn't build behind me over in the East Coast there. Ooh, Ryan might do that now. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared here. Probably should have taken Oklahoma City. If I wanted to be safe, I would take that. I'm actually scared Ryan's probably going to build behind me now. Now, if I built Washington, then I think I'd be safer. Because if you build Washington, that makes it less likely for someone else to build behind in here. Or in front of you this way. Okay, never mind. All right. Memphis, St. Louis for Ryan, it looks like. St. Louis should be the next city. Ryan only built 1. Huh. That makes me feel better about building 1 myself. Is that a misclick? Like, Ryan's still very new to the BSW client, so I'm worried he might have misclicked there. Because he easily could have afforded St. Louis. I don't know what he... Again, I'm just not sure if that's a misclick or what. Very strange play there. $10 goes to real record at the top. This I bet on for sure. Stein drops out of the 13 auction instantly. Well, even though 10 came cheap, I still think I won that auction. 13 is so much more long-term value than 10. Even if it's worse in the interim, like, with like the 10 versus 4 plus 13, with both, you're using 2 coal to power 2 cities, but with 13 you get worse turnover, so it's worse early on than the 10. But the 13 in itself becomes so much better as the game progresses. You get a lot more use out of it. And we force Stein to buy the 7. Stein's gunning for turn order here, and there's 21. All right, big plant there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be in a great position to win it. So if I had bought if I had let Ryan have the 13, and then I bought a plant in front of Stein, that actually would have dropped 21 for Stein and put him in an amazing position. Now at least there should be a fair fight for 21 in the next turn. I would expect it to go for around 30 or so. Maybe a little more even. Because of that damn 23 sitting right there behind it. That's a problem. Stein makes the correct build there. I agree with that. And I'm going to build Detroit. Obvious build for me. And then I'll need to take Washington pretty soon. Stein will be eyeing a jump into Washington, I'd imagine. I don't know why Ryan is not building St. Louis. That's strange to me. Like, the thing with St. Louis is, it gives Ryan a cheaper jump into Santa Fe, which I feel like he might need. Building Birmingham is such a strange play. I need to update the plant market. 21, 23... I think I got everything there, so it's 35 going under the deck now. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to be the player to win 21 because of how much I spent on the 13 last turn. That's going to put me at a clear disadvantage. I expect Stein to go pretty hard for this one. I'll stay in there. I mean, I'll stay in the auction for a little while. This will be my last bid. 29 is my last bid because with that, I can build a third city. Like, that'll... If I get this plant for 29, that'll leave me with exactly enough money to build Washington. So it's gone beyond that now. I expect Stein to bid again here. Stein tends to be a big fan of the 21, but sadly no. Painful as this is, I think I have to let it go here. We're going through a lot of plants in the 30s right now. Could be a sign of a possible market stall way down the line. Whoa! Whoa, Ryan. Okay, Stein just won the game, basically. Ryan! Why would you do that, man? I mean, this is the stuff you get with newer players. This is why Stein tends to go for those low-numbered plants. When we're playing with newer players like this, you really want to stay below them in the auction. And that is where I think Stein, I just thought the 13 was worth it in terms of overall money making, but you do lose out on turn order with 13. So, one thing I could have done, actually, I could have just stayed at one city once I got the 13. That was an option, too. No reason for me to buy extra resources now. I'm guaranteed to go bottom in the next turn. Yeah, I think now Stein's very close to having won the game already. That was such a bad plant buy from Ryan. I'm sorry, but this is what you gotta hear. When a plant like 25 or 26 is on deck, you don't buy a plant you're not even gonna run this turn. Like, that's just throwing the game away. Like, I get that coal's not the cheapest, but it's okay if you run the 8 for 3 turns. It's okay, it really is. Yep. Yeah, this is where you give credit to Stein. This is why Stein is a better record in these, 3 and 4 player games than I do. He just sticks to the turn order game. And now 19 comes in. We're not even going to get to buy the green plants this turn. Yeah. Like I said, I feel like Stein's like 90% of the way to winning the game already. Ryan single-handedly changed the complexion of this entire game with that one move, buying 23. One thing has just changed the whole game. That is not a move you would ever see a veteran make, straight up. Anyway, I kind of have to attack coal now. I'm just doing this to kind of incentivize Real Record to buy oil and attack Stein. I'm trying to make coal a little more expensive to discourage Real Record from buying coal. You should be using oil on 21, like exclusively now. You have to attack oil if you want any chance against Stein. Probably what I should have done, come to think of it, is buy the 9 in that situation. Me going this long just powering 2 cities is, it's kind of bad. There, okay, Real Record does the good shit now. That's what I was hoping to see. Drive up that oil. I can safely build 1 city and stay bottom in the turn order here. So I'll build Washington now. Discourage Stein from jumping. I don't know why these players left St. Louis open so long. Ryan really should have been punished for not opening St. Louis, but he gets it now after all these turns. Real record going for Santa Fe very quickly. I mean, it's a reasonable play. I have to imagine, not now, but Stein could eye a jump into Santa Fe if it were left open. From Chicago, that's not the most expensive jump ever. You do get a lot of step 1 cities out of it. Yep. So I do feel like at this stage my chances of winning have drastically gone down, as Scott Steiner would say. $21 is justifying itself, and 26 is, of course, just that game-changing monster. Stein passes, which is reasonable. Stein he's not really going to have the money or the open space to make use of a green plant with 26 right now. He would want to be able to build to 7 cities this turn if he were going to use that. I feel like what I have to do in this situation is pass on 22 and just hope for the best. Like, if I were to get 25 as a drop, that would put me back in the game. Okay, I'll take this, though. Sure. Ooh, 18. Okay. Okay. Calculate. Let's see what we can do here. I think the play for me now is just to move the market, build to 7 right now. I could buy 2 coal and do that, but I'm not going to. There's a decent chance guaranteed, if I'm going to build to 7, guaranteed I'm replacing the 4 with something on the next turn. That means I cannot buy extra coal for risk of getting stuck with it. I do take a little bit of a risk getting blocked in step 2, but I feel like at this stage, like if I were to stall at, say, 5 cities here, I'd just be stuck at the top of the turn order anyway. What I could do is stall at 4, but then I have the problem with this coal sitting there. And the market's not great right now. Like, if I build to 5, I'm going to be stuck at the top of the turn order anyway, and one of the golden rules of multiplayer Power Grid is you do not want to stall at the top of the turn order. That just gets you killed on the builds whenever the stall's finally broken, and people have a lot more time to build up money to block you in builds. So if you're going to be up top, might as well just trigger step 2 ASAP. And that's what I'm going to do. We absolutely need to move the market in order to even try to mount a challenge to Stein here. Ryan ended up doing surprisingly well with his build. I fully expect Real Record to stay at 4 cities and just build into me. See, now I wish I had stored extra coal, because 20 comes on. Hey. Really? 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 I guess I buy it. Again, it is still a little bit of a help for me. Probably not the greatest thing in the world, but I need to move the market right now. Well, this should hopefully go really high. As cheap as coal is right now. Please bid. Please bid. I don't know why Real Record's passing here. I have no idea why this is happening. Please bid. Please bid. Can you please bid the 20? Hello? Seriously? You gave up 20 that cheap with coal that cheap. Now at this point I expect 24 coming in is... It probably screws with Real Record's plan. Record was probably hoping to get a 31 drop here. But now there's just 24 sitting there. Not such a great consolation prize. And I don't think Record really wants 24. Record's probably just going to build and buy the hell out of, do what they can to damage coal and oil. We're going to be looking at these same plants next turn. I will buy 24, though. Absolutely be my plan here. What I'd like to do this turn is build to 9. Yes, buy... I don't know why they even bother giving you the okay sign. Like, I cannot buy any raw materials at all. I have nothing but green plants now. I don't know why Record didn't build into the East Coast. That's what I would do in their spot. I still have the highest numbered plant in the game at 27. Interesting that Stein didn't buy any coal at all. Here's what I do for the builds. So do it that way. I really want St. Louis. I'm building to 9 because that way, if I buy 24 next turn, I'll be at exactly the number of cities I need to power. Being said, there is a decent chance 24 does not stay on. Also, we still have not seen a single plant in the a single plant 40 or above yet. Huh. All right. So, well, here's my 24. This might get some bidding, actually. Oh yeah, it's getting bidding. Okay. I forgot to mark off 12, by the way. Like, this is just straight up a better plant than 28 at this point, I feel. There's a number of duds that can come here. And the only plant that could come after this that would really make me hate life is 25, which did not come. I am okay with this. Ryan's definitely going to buy 28 now, for sure. I mean, realistically, at this point, we're all just playing for second place. Stein getting 26 at cost and then 20 barely above cost with Cole staying pretty cheap right now. Again, Stein's already won this game. $28's going for a higher price than 24. That makes me feel better about my life choices. Especially with that dud coming in after. I feel like if you're real record here, you could buy 16, arguably. Like, you could try to buy 16 just to attack Stein even more. And Stein can't really buy a plant here. Stein would not want to buy a 4. If you, oh no, oh no, oh no. Well, so much for 24 being better than 28. I mean, it's better for turn order. That's not nothing. Also, we finally have our first plant in the 40s. I guess I should have seen the 19 buy coming. Guess I should have seen it coming. Stein playing this smart, opting to stay at 9 cities, because this will put him below me in the turn order and likely below Record as well. Record buying the 19 suggests to me that they're going to build to 9 as well. But yeah, Stein manages to break into the East Coast. That's really bad for all of us. I mean, again, I mean, we're taking it for granted. Stein's going to win this game. And even Ryan, no, Ryan actually stops at 8, trying to stay below me. Still not going to take the bait, though. I'm not going to bid him. Yeah. One of the main reasons I wanted 24 over 28, though, is that I wanted to drop below at least somebody in the turn order before step 3. Well, there's the 50. More likely than not, we should get like a 5 or a 6 plant to bid on here. A 6 is what I really want, of course. I still feel like the 2 players that have fossil fuels are ahead of the 2 of us that don't. Because the fact that we don't have fossil fuels, that's keeping fossil fuels cheap for them. That's what we're seeing right now. I think what I'll need to do now is try to build a 14 this turn, if at all possible. Here I only need to buy the $4 trash because... oh, no. Might be worth buying more. But no, I'd rather focus on my builds here. I'd like to see if I can build 5 cities this turn. If possible. Build that 14 out of the market. Get more good plants on. Oh, Ryan actually overbuilds. Interesting. So there's a problem here. One of the other commandments of Power Grid that I learned from arguably the best Power Grid player in the world, J-Bode, is that if you broke the stall for step 2 and you started step 2 at the top of the turn order, typically you don't want to start the top of the turn order for step 3 as well. Unfortunately, at this stage, I might not have a choice here. Oh, record's probably going to do it, huh? You need to build a 14, bruh. If you're going to do this, build a... there you go. There you go. Do that so I don't have to. Okay. Well, I get down to second from bottom, so that bodes well for my chances of getting at least second place here. Because I still do feel like second place is all I'm really playing for. Stein has no reason to build. It's even though Stein's top 2 plants power 10 cities total, him staying at 9 makes a lot of sense because it benefits his turn order. What would I do now? I'm guaranteed to stay above Stein. I think what I do is build... no, I don't need to build Memphis. I don't need to build Memphis yet, I think. I think I can just stay here. I mean, maybe I was better off building Memphis. Perhaps. The game's stalled enough that I'll definitely have to buy some sort of endgame plant next turn. Okay. Ooh, 25. Too little, too late for 25, though. Next plant after this is going to be the Step 3 card, which means we're going to get... Ooh, this is interesting now. This is interesting. I can actually get 36. If Stein bids for one of these 6 capacity plants, which he probably will, Stein might have already won. If Stein bids for a 6, he might be able to end the game now. Because, yeah, me not building Memphis last turn is going to hurt a little bit. Stein's going to get that open for him, because we will get Step 3 building this turn. It's just... I wasn't sure if 11 was going to be drawn there. 11 immediately got taken out of the game because we had a player with more than 11 cities, at 11 plus cities. All right, Stein dips out of this one. Step 3 cards should be next after this, so 30, 31, 32, and 36 would be all the plants that come. Oh no, oh no. I just realized something. I misread the order of the plants. 35 is gonna... Oh shit, okay. Actually, Stein can probably buy 35 and just end it now. So yeah, Stein... Oh no, 25. Well, there we go. That's cheaper, so yeah. Stein just wins now. Stein wins, and I probably get second, I think. The fact that Stein didn't even care about bidding on 32, knowing that 35 would come next after it, yeah, that tells me he's won this game. As we expected ever since the 26 drop. Good win to Stein. Interesting that a 5-5-5 is going to win here. That's such a rare thing to happen in 4-player. In general, it's with good players, it's rare for a 4-player game to end before the Step 3 auction. But that's what we're about to see here. I guess I should have prepared for the likelihood of Step 3 happening now. And built Memphis. Yep, this is an easy win for Stein. Real record having built that extra city would give him a disadvantage. He might still finish ahead of me in money, though. Yep, okay, second place for me. I was a good deal richer than the others, though. But yeah, this was just a steamroll for Stein. This game is a perfect example of one bad plant purchase single-handedly deciding a game. That can happen in these multiplayer games. This is why Power Grid, you really prefer to play with experienced players. And this game shows why. Although Ryan is learning, and Ryan's still very new, so hopefully this will be a learning experience for him. I gave him some lessons last night. You know, it's a game that takes a while to get the hang of, so not hating on Ryan, just saying. That's what it can do to a game sometimes. Oh, Stein played it well getting the 7, though. Stein ditched the 13 and aimed for the 7 plant. That was very well played on his part, so that's why he's the master. And I'm still the student, as of now, anyway. With that, see you later.